So, just got finished with softball. What do I want to accomplish? Make sure this thing's not heating up. I've got some rye grain berries here. I'm gonna make, I've got some plates of cultures. We'll make one of lion's mane, one reishi, one oyster mushroom. Might grab the mallet really fast so I can unhinge the pressure steam sterilizer here. There we go. And I am in a cluster, so I bought this giant tent, and I have no space whatsoever, so this is a makeshift deal. I've got some mushrooms growing right now. Let's see. I'll turn the fan on, get some clean air in here. Yeah, just kind of throwing it together right now. I'll probably move some bags, some colonized bags into the tent. A lot of victories. Had some really good oyster mushrooms fruiting here. And yeah, rich blue, nice cascading. Oh, I shouldn't have done that with my gloves. But yeah, I got some, let's see, what do we got here? This is probably the lion's mane. Yeah, so this has been sitting in the fridge for quite a while. So I'm just gonna use an entire plate for each. That's a nice blue oyster mushroom. A lot of moisture in there though. That's a little not ideal. And then reishi here. So yeah, I'll make one reishi, one blue oyster, one lion's mane. Essentially, I just need to keep the process going. So I am, for the most part, I'm gonna need to drill a hole through the wall. And then I'm gonna be able to, once I'm able to exhaust CO2 at an unprecedented level. So I'm just gonna do, I got some rye grain substrate here. I've got mushroom mycelium, and I'm going to move the mycelium on agar onto the rye grain berries so they can go to the incubation chamber. So I'm just trying to keep it going. I'm having some good fruits in the tent right now. Oyster mushrooms are looking pretty good. I think I dialed in the CO2. I have since invested in this thing, and so this is the new monster, and I'm kind of in between moving from the smaller tent into the beast. So I got my laminar flow hood going here. Sorry, it's kind of a mess. I mean, essentially my entire garage just got taken up by this thing. So this is a 10 by 10. It's gonna be pretty sweet. So once I drill a hole through the wall, I've got the fan. I got a 6-inch can fan. I'll be able to move all the CO2 outside. Oh gosh, I think this is like $600. Might have been more than that. So, might have been more than that. I think it was about $600. So, I think I went over a bit. I think I went too big. Maybe. I might have gone too big. Well, I say that now. Look at me. I'm like in the corner. I can't, I got no space. So, It's nice. So, but again, I'm just kind of in between phases right now. Yeah. So let me get started a little bit. I got this little guy to sterilize things. What I've learned is I turn it on. It gets so piping hot, I'm not gonna leave this in there. I'm just gonna gently kind of hold it in there for 10 seconds at a time. It's not on right now. I got an impulse heat sealer to seal the bags. Once they're inoculated, it'll go pretty fast. I could show you some mushrooms really fast. So again, let me get you what I got. I'm moving into this big tent. This is it. I could turn the light on here. All right, so these guys don't look too bad. I mean, I feel bad a little bit because it's like, oh, look at me, I have no room. See, this is ridiculous. So, I'm not gonna bring out these too much. I got some work to do, and then, so this is, these are a little late. So I probably should have harvested these a little sooner. Not as blue as I would like, and a little gangly. You can see the stems are a little stretched out. So this is a lot of CO2 issues. Kind of pretty from the bottom side. Definitely edible. So this is not, those aren't bad. No contamination, no blotch. I was having a blotch issue for a while. Here's some more recent growth of oyster mushrooms. So we're getting there. I'm getting there. But the big thing right now is my CO2 from the tent needs to go outside. I can't have it coming into the house or the garage. So I need to drill a hole and go through the wall, and I need to install and vent. And once I do that, it'll come into the garage. I'm gonna move everything over. I'm gonna upgrade the DIY humidifier. I have to go even bigger, you know, and I'm gonna get some lighting, and then it's go time. I'm just gonna start scaling out. So basically what you're gonna see today is I'm gonna be taking mycelium on agar plates, and I'm gonna move them to rye grain berries. From there they go to incubation chamber, they colonize, then I take that and I move it to master's mix, like bulk substrate bags, back into the incubation chamber, into the tent, and here you go. So like I said, this isn't perfect. A lot of aborts in there. Little gangly, not very blue. So, but I'm not too concerned. And then you got these puppies right there, looking pretty good, healthy flush. So I've got it dialed in, and over the course of the next probably 6 weeks, I'll be going into the big tent. So I'm gonna put these away, and I'll get the rye grain out, and I'll start chopping into these. Yeah, so it's just a bummer. I just have no room right now. I'm just kind of, I'm a stateless nation here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I got lion's mane in here. It's kind of been a little bit struggling. I had some reishi that was doing all right. It's just those environmental factors. And for the most part, I've really pinpointed the most significant issue is CO2 removal. And so, but I'm almost there, huh? Okay, let's get this puppy open. Had our Softball game this afternoon. I don't think we lost again, so that might have been, yeah, we've yet to win. But, so, a little defeating in that regard. I came running home. I like to It was like, well, it's a growing year. All right, I'm just gonna leave those two in there. I only have three. Like I said, pretty small load today. And the objective is I'm just kind of trying to keep processes rolling. So a lot of failure and reiteration involved. So the impulse heat sealer's there. And then, yeah, rock and roll. So I'll just unwrap this guy. Got the laminar flow hood going. Yeah. Life is hard. Not everybody can win at softball. Holy shit. Hold on. Time out. I'm almost. Okay. Sorry. See, well, that's just another factor of me in an overcrowded space. I got to get rid of that box. All this needs to move to the wall. So I love the tent, but it has really thrown a wrench into everything. Okay, so let's start with the blue oyster here. So a lot of condensation has been forming in this bag. I did exactly what I said I wouldn't do. Which was put the, all right, this is not laboratory ideal. Yeah, so blue oyster mushroom, like I said, a lot of condensation in this guy. I'm actually gonna use the entire plate for one bag. So a little bit of an overkill. Like I said, I'm just kind of keeping the process going so that I can keep slowly getting better at this. I made a YouTube short of my best blue oyster mushrooms as of yet. A rich blue, it had a nice cascading effect to the growth, which tells me it wasn't very gangly, no blotch. So, all right, I'm just gonna give this guy, for good measure, a little bit of sterilization. So, I'll probably sterilize it even more a little bit. So, all right. Yeah, so this is blue oyster mushroom. This is gonna be kind of what I feel I might be focusing on. Rishi's been a little bit of a pain in the ass, so it's fun, but it's not. I think I need to focus in. So blue oyster mushroom and lion's mane. I was having a lot of success with lion's mane until I got about 10 to 12 bags in the tent. And then all of a sudden, it was like the canary in the coal mine. And it was like, CO2's not right in here. Humidity's not right in here. Oh, it's, the build stream was ridiculous. Oh no, the tent's great. Tent's great, I just don't have, man, there's so much condensation in here. I do not like that. So I'm going to keep it kind of near the laminar flow hood. It is what it is. Yeah, it was a show. I think you need like a warehouse. You need a warehouse. The frame's pretty easy. I thought the floor was going to be separate. It was not. So it took me about 2 hours by myself. No, I'm growing oyster mushrooms and I'm growing lion's mane. I don't think I could legally grow marijuana. I think I'm right next to, despite I live in Alaska, but there's a park nearby. And I think even if I legally was able to cultivate, I think the fact that I'm near a park, they could get me, or they would frown upon it. So, no, I'm in the mushroom business. So, all right, and so I'm gonna divvy up the agar plate. Oh yeah, I bet. Oh, cool. I'm a Green Bay Packer fan. They played in Brazil last year, I think. Where is most pot grown in? Oh, so there we go. Oh man, did the heater turn off? So no, the tent is stunning. The material is fantastic. It is a great tent. The issue being is I'm operating in a 400 square foot garage, and the tent is 100 square feet. So it's 25% of my space, and I put it right in the middle. So, and I'm not in it yet. So I'm in that it's like when you move into a new apartment, and it kind of sucks at first because nothing is in the right spot. That's where I'm at right now. Beautiful mycelium. I'm going to try not to wave it around. I get reprimanded by the mushroom farmers. I got the laminar flow hood here. I've abandoned the masks. I should probably go back to them, but yeah. So like I said right now, so what I'm going to do, normally I was taking little tiny wedges. Yeah, I got some bags fruiting here. I'll show you in a second. I am actually going to do this entire plate in one bag, and I'm going to cut this into quarters and throw them in there like that. And then I'm going to break them up in the bag. So this is new to me a little bit. Normally what I was doing was I was cutting them up into like dime size triangle wedges. A little bit more tedious. Sometimes less is more. I've got my bag here. All right. I thought I missed. Okay, so agar's a little on there. So these have been in the fridge for a little bit. Like I said, there was a lot of condensation in this. So I'm going to look into that. Mycelium looks real healthy. I want to say it feels a little wet. Okay, done. Yeah, less is more. I'm going to put this in there for just 2 seconds, let it cool off. I'll show you some mushrooms here in a second. That one guy who was asking, I don't know if you're still here. I just put them back. We'll do one more peekaboo, and then I'm going to do the rest of these bags. So And you know what? The other thing I've been seeing is that they actually kind of capture air. In the bag. All right, we got a good seal. I didn't capture a lot of air in there. And so then I got them in there. I'm gonna kind of just break them up by hand. Again, this is kind of the first time I've really trying this. They look like they're kind of falling apart pretty good. Again, they were a little bit wetter. The mycelium looked fine, but they just looked a little bit more moist than usual. Not a huge bag of rye grain berries. They go a lot further than I used to think. So this, you know, in theory, I think I could maybe get 20 bags of bulk substrate out of this. Before I was putting like, this would be like 4 of them. But this goes a long way. And so then, like I said, what did I just put in here? Blue oyster. This thing's gonna be scalding hot. Really got to work on my system here. We're going to use the Impulse heat sealer. Let me get a marker. I'll grab some mushrooms to show you real quick. So like I said, these aren't perfect. We're moving in the right direction. So the majority of my problems are CO2 related. Not as blue as I want them to be. They should have been harvested yesterday. I let the caps open too much. And a little gangly. You can see the stems are a little stretchy. So not a perfect specimen here, but there's no botch, and definitely edible and fine. No blue, so that, I think, you know, that's a lot of lighting. This guy's got a little bit of blue down here. If you want to see, yeah, oh yeah, for sure. We've come a long way. We have come a long way. Here's some, this is some growth, blue oyster mushroom growth. So definitely kind of has the blue early on. It kind of loses it. So lighting, CO2, and then the capacity, the humidity capacity to fix the massive amount of CO2 removal, right? So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I mean, I could just move air out of this thing, but if it's just coming into the house or coming into the garage, and then if I'm moving air out, I need to create more CO2. So that's kind of the deal. All right, and the other big thing here is label your bags. Blue oyster mushroom, what's the date? The 29th? Yes. Good night. Okay. Oh, man. Get some paper towels. Oh. Yeah, I'm spent. Had a long day. Went to work, played a game of softball. Gonna wrap this up. So where are we at here? I have this old, this lion's mane has been in the fridge for a while. So it looks kind of wispy, even has some growth coming out the side. No contamination. Should be fine, so get this thing going. No, life is good. I think I'm just throwing the kitchen sink at this thing. And I keep buying stuff. Like giant tents. But it's necessary, and the vision is there. So as soon as I drill that hole in the wall, start pumping air out, and then hopefully I can get hopefully I'm able to humidify it in such a space. All right, so we're gonna do lion's mane next. Got the rye grain berries here. Gonna open up here, let my utensil cool. Yeah, I do a lot of YouTube shorts. I do one pretty much every day now. So, like life will slow down a little bit in the winter. All right. So this is lion's mane. Like I said, it's been in the fridge for quite some time. I have no reason to think it's not viable. Got some parafilm here. Got some more parafilm. Ta ta ta. Yeah, I just wasn't batting today in softball. Had a couple catches, but the bats were not there. All right, so like I said, normally I was doing just little tiny triangles, more towards like recent growth areas. I'm just throwing the whole plate in 4 bits, and then I'll break it up when it gets in the bag. All right, so this one has less. I don't want to talk on it. This one had less condensation than the blue oyster mushroom, so it's kind of coming off the plates much easier. Like a pizza. Excellent, really like that. So this is the lion's mane. Throw that in there. Hi-ya. Obviously, all the myceliums are a little different. I'm gonna put this on the pressure steam sterilizer. Turn that puppy off. Without further ado, let's get this guy sealed up. So a lot of what I've learned is that it's just a lot of workflow. You know, I need to have everything in kind of in process. That way I can fail faster and then reiterate. This is 70%. So I don't know technically. I think that's good enough. I don't really know I use it almost habitually, and so I'm just putting them in there like giant and just kind of breaking them up. I hate to be rough, but whatevs. And then with rye grain, after about, especially with the blue oyster mushroom, I could argue maybe in a week, I'll do a break and shake. And then maybe 3 or 4 days after that, it's going to be fully colonized. I'll probably end up doing grain to grain transfers. I'm going to kick the can down the road. Like I said, I'm in the process of getting into the tent. So my focus has grown a little bit less on the fruiting part, and we've moved into creating the environment. So what do we got? And then this is another crucial area here, lion's mane. I'm almost positive it's the 29th. So, yes. Okay, I'm gonna do a reishi. I am a tuckered dude. And I think the other thing about the tent is it's just like, it's sink or swim at this point. I mean, there's no turning back. You can't have a 10 by 10 tent and just kind of dabble. I mean, this is, so, but I've been saying that for a while. Every time I do anything, I say, well, here we go. So, but I am kind of on a time crunch. I'd like to get this. I'm going to email the city. I'm going to try to speak at one of the assembly meetings. About specialty crops here in town. So the biggest complaint is that we get too many tourists, right? So we have all these cruise ships coming in, but I think we could, and it's such a small town, you know, Sitka, Alaska, so we got about 8,000 people, but we get, I think maybe 750,000 tourists a year-ish. But our economy has almost entirely gone to tourism. So I'm going to see, and I think we could get a lot of federal funds if we start doing specialty crops in rural areas, Sitka being one of them. All right, so we got reishi here. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm going to say to the assembly, but I kind of want to introduce myself. All right. I'm always impressed with reishi mycelium. I'm not going to wave it around, but it always has such an alien-like. It's very dense. It's I almost feel like maybe the mushrooms are kind of growing here on the sides. So again, it's very strong. I haven't had a lot of success with reishi. It'll grow, I'll get it to grow a little bit. on the side, on the edges of the bags. See, we're gonna have a fight. So, yeah, there we go. That one's better. Good enough. So reishi may be a little bit out of my wheelhouse. This might be a little bit. And so I'm doing it anyways. Just because I'm here, I'm doing 1 lion's mane, 1 blue oyster. What am I doing? This thing's got to cool down. Well, let me let it cool. 1 lion's mane, 1 blue oyster, 1 reishi. And again, it's all about workflow. I remember I ran out of bags for a while. That shut everything down. So I'm just kind of keeping the process going, reiterating, failing, reiterating, while I move into the tent. And I think I'll do some major construction within the week. I'm going to build a new DIY humidifier, customized for this scope of growing environment. I'm going to restructure all this jazz. Yeah, install some lights. I think that might be a little bit of trial and error. I'm going to get a good cleaning regimen in. I've ordered some more racks. I'm going with 5 shelf racks. And, you know, some restaurants are already asking about it. Holy smokes, this thing is piping red hot. YouTube's really kind of kept the fire in me going. I'll go to work and I'll come home, I'll be like, well, I should make a YouTube short, you know? Sometimes it's like, well, this is so tedious, or holy shit, this is a little hot. Let's let it cool down. Excuse my French. But kind of keeps me going, keeps the momentum. Yeah, the DIY humidifier. You know, looking around, I think I bought a backup impulse heat sealer. Some of this more excellent. No, I appreciate your support. Honestly, it has been a journey. I'll be going down south in September, and I was like, I wasted all this money on a plane ticket. And I'm only down there for a very short period of time. So what I did was I emailed a farm. And I was like, hey, I'm in town. It's like a Saturday. Do you think I could come by and like tour your facility? They got back to me that afternoon. They're like, absolutely. I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I'm going to start, whenever I go anywhere, I might start doing long form tours of actual functioning mushroom farms. So stay tuned with that. That's kind of that is a dream in process. Okay, so here's the reishi mycelium. Again, new tactic. I'm cutting the plates up in, oh, come on, work with me here. 4, throwing them in there. That one kind of hung on to each other. And then I'm going to break them up in the bag after I seal it. So this is just one of those, the less handling I do, the more, the better. Sometimes it's like, well, all right, a nice crisp seal. Okay. So we're gonna get it in there, and I'm just gonna kind of break them up again with loving hands. I really do appreciate support. There's so many mushroom farmers out there that have been helping me, like little tips, encouraging words. You know, I saw a guy the other day, he's following me, he's down in like South Africa. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Really awesome. I mean, it's just a new day where a guy in his garage can give it a run, you know? Getting a little older, and I'm like, well, you know what? Let's get crazy. So I try to do little funny shorts, and that seems to be kind of my shtick. So reishi here. $7.29. Hugely important to label bags. So all these, I'm going to probably move some bags of colonized bulk substrate into the tent. Make some room in the incubation chambers for these guys. I'm going to keep cleaning. But really, the farm has gotten to a point where I need to evacuate CO2 in mass. In the next week, I'll be drilling through the hole in the wall, installing the fan, and moving that out. Building the DIY humidifier to compensate for the fan moving the CO2 out. And then I will be scaling what I've learned over the last couple of months in mushroom cultivation, and I will be slowly but fairly quickly filling this room up with mushrooms, dialing in the light, and that's it. We're going to be killing it. So, yes, long day at work, long day at the softball field, short but sweet day on the farm. But I will slowly, since I got some more people, let me show you what I got mushroom wise, and then I will be moving forward. Pretty tired. So I do have a lion's mane in here, but he's looking kind of sad. Like I said, I was hitting home runs with lion's mane for a while until I got a bunch of bags in there, and I think you'd be surprised at how much CO2 these guys emit. So this is not perfect, so be kind. But this is so these are probably a day late for harvest. You can tell the caps are a little bit too open, not blue. If you look at some of my shorts, I have some really nice blue ones, and then they're a little gangly, and that's a CO2 issue, right? And so then this is some earlier growth oyster mushrooms right here. Okay, no blotch, but again, you know, you could say maybe they might be getting a little leggy, and that would be potentially more CO2 issues. So all of these problems will be solved as I move into the giant tent over the next week or two here and do the CO2 remediation, the new DIY humidifier, and we're getting dialed in. So things are exciting, and I will be parting ways and I need to get some rest. So appreciate everybody's support, and stay tuned. It's going to be an exciting couple of weeks, couple of months, but I am out of here. Cheers. Be well.